Of Lake Erie to Browns fans worldwide. Hope is alive and the future's bright. This is There's a Gleam podcast, a Cleveland Browns podcast. Let's get the gleam together. Cold Lake wind and orange lights. Sunday fire, dog pound nights. We won the scars, we stood the test. Brown and orange across our chest. From the Muni lot to the end zone line. This city's heart still beats in time. Through every loss and every dream, you can feel it rise. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam together. This is our time. Let's get the gleam together. Whoa. Let's get the gleam together. This is our town.
Good afternoon and welcome to There's a Gleam podcast, a Cleveland Browns podcast. I am Steve, he is John, and today is Wednesday, March 25th, 2026, and it is 12:02. How you feeling today, John?
Steve, I'm doing great. I'm so excited about all this draft talk that's been going on and all the Browns news that's been happening. It's just we've got a lot to talk about, and I'm excited to dive into this.
Dude, the over-under is like an hour 20 based on what I saw for the show notes.
Well, yeah, with the notes, yeah.
I think this opening went a little bit smoother, so that's good. We made a little wrinkle. Our Marty thing is going to be played at a different time, so we're trying stuff out. We're still learning as we go. We're seeing what works. The feedback so far has been kind of positive about not seeing our faces just staring to nothing while the music's playing. So, and just seeing the picture. So that's been a positive.
It is. I agree. Thank you for Chris Canner for suggesting that.
Right, him. I think my cousin Dominic had said something.
Of course, he doesn't want to see our faces.
You had a good weekend.
I did. What did I? Oh, so Steve, real quick, I went to the home remodeling show at the IX Center.
Nice.
And so I'm looking for some insulation for the attic and stuff. Much smaller than the home and garden show.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the same vendors, but it was a good time. A lot smaller though. So
nice.
I've got some quotes coming in. I got people coming over. So
okay.
What about you? You had your big Commodore ball.
Yeah, this was got a little thing here. Add to the stage. This past weekend we had our Commodore's ball, which was out at the lodge at Geneva on the Lake, and good time. It was a little mini getaway. It was Friday, Saturday, and we came back Sunday.
Saturday was a big night, right?
Friday was like a social. They had hors d'oeuvres and an open bar, which get a bunch of boaters and free booze the free booze went to 10, just to give you an idea. That went to 10. Then we hung around there for a little bit, hit the bar that was there. It must have been about 11:15 or so. And I asked the one bartender, I'm like, by the way, how late are you guys open till? She's like, we close at 10. Like, it's 11:20. I think they did last call around midnight for us.
That's not bad.
No, not too bad. But we had a great time. Terrific weekend with friends, they're basically family now. Shout out to the CLYC, that's the Chagrin Lagoon Yacht Club, and Commodore Jeff Sika. It was his big weekend. He is now our Commodore this year. So he does listen to the show, I think, occasionally. And actually, I get quite a bit of feedback when I'm at the club. When I stop in there, we'll go to dinners and just pop into the bar and stuff during the off season here. And I've had so many people come up to me and say, hey, we watched the show. We really like it and stuff. I'm like, wow, cool.
Nice. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a picture of me and my wife. That was the social night before. It's a little not so formal, but still a little dressy. But yeah, we had a good. What's that?
Tie, just open collar jacket. That's
nice.
People
wore whatever, button down shirts. I mean, it's kind of like business casual, or
Yeah.
And then the next night, people were anywhere from tuxes. I wore a suit for that night. I felt like a little kid though. I got a shirt on Amazon, and the sleeves were too long. So every time I looked, my sleeves were longer than my suit coat sleeve, and it kept driving me nuts. I took a picture. I'm like, I look like an idiot. I looked like that little kid where the shirt's too. It drove me nuts. I didn't realize it at the time. I kept trying to, and my coat's good. It fits. Yeah, actually, it's a little big. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. But no, good time by all. Want to say real quick you can follow us. Let's get the social stuff out of the way here.
Okay.
Remember to like, follow, subscribe. We are live every Wednesdays at noon on YouTube, Facebook, and X. You can also find us both on TikTok, and you can listen to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, and now also on YouTube, which we usually air the next day on Thursday, sometimes late Wednesday, depends on John's schedule. He's the one that knows how to do it. I still don't know how to set some of those up. So John takes care of that, but pretty much on YouTube, Facebook, and we are at There's a Gleam podcast. X, you can find me if you're watching now. You're seeing it on my page at Hemi44, and John is John at Get the Gleam. So and just look for our logo. So appreciate if you'd subscribe, follow, like, share, send to friends, send to friends of friends, get the word out, help us grow, and we'd appreciate it.
Definitely would.
So yeah, like John, you were saying, we got a lot going on today. We're going to talk some Browns news. Always Browns news, right?
Of course.
Always something going on.
Lead off with the Browns news.
And we got some roster moves. Jarvis Landry had an interesting comment. He was, what was it? Was it Leonard Fournette's podcast?
Yeah, it was Fournette.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got some clips about that. We got notified. We're going to talk about it. We were notified about a Browns draft party that looks like the Browns are going to host this year. We're also going to talk about some Browns 30 visits. Also got some AFC North news, some draft talk. John has his first mock draft to unveil, so I'm excited to see that. And this week, I had the honor of doing the land featuring an East Side establishment called Craggy Boglands Pub. So, and some more stuff to do. So let's get going, and let's start off with some Browns news, John.
All right. Well, let's start off with AJ Epinenza, defensive end. We signed him a 1-year deal, $5 million. Steve, I think we may have touched on this last week a little bit. I don't remember, but he was a second-round pick in 2020. He was with the Bills.
He signed after our show.
Was it after the show? Okay.
Yeah.
It was right
these three guys that you're going to talk about, I think all signed after our last week's show.
All right. So he has 24 career sacks, and he's expected to step into that rotational role on the edge. So I think that's a solid signing by the Browns to bring him in on a 1-year deal.
I like that one a lot. I think it provides good depth. He's been solid. I mean, last year he wasn't the greatest, but I think overall he's still he's not that old. How old is he again?
He's he's been in the league, I think 5 years, maybe.
Yeah.
So he's like 27.
28, yeah. So I like it. I think it provides more good depth and can never have enough depth.
No, you can't. And now, Steve, this is the part that I really like what the Browns are doing. They realized that they had a problem with special teams, I think, along with everybody in Cleveland last year. So they've started addressing it. And I think this is one of the things that was overlooked. Those guys at the bottom of the roster that are special team specialists. And they've kind of done that. They've gotten went out and they got safety Daniel Thomas. They signed him to a 2-year deal. He's had 1,436 career snaps on special teams over the last 6 years with the Lions and Jaguars. Okay. So right there, you've got some experience coming in on the special teams. And then they also added wide receiver Tylan Wallace. He was a Ravens former 4th-round pick. You don't expect a whole lot from him on offense. He has 22 career receptions for 305 yards, but
definitely a special teams guy now.
Yep, 1,000 snaps on special teams, and he also has punt and return ability.
Okay, not a signing, not bad.
Yeah, I think they've done a good job in bringing some of these guys in that are primary just special teams players. And
I would expect at this point that's pretty much what you're going to see. Some low level, fill out the roster, some special teams, help some.
We just can't keep getting gashed over and over like we did last year. That was just frankly embarrassing.
Oh, that was definitely that was probably our weakest link. I mean, Quarterback, I guess you could argue too, the line, but I mean, as far as a whole unit, that unit is just terrible. I'm hoping coaching alone makes a difference, but we'll see. I mean, they're definitely addressing it though, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, the special teams they were losing games for us last year. That's how bad they were. Okay, so then we also have up front, they signed Khalil Davis.
We talked about him last week, the tackle.
Okay.
He tackle from 49ers.
Correct. Yep. And did we talk about Julian Okawara?
Yeah, I think we brought him up in Ross. Those were re-signs, right? That they
they re-signed him. Yeah. So we did.
I think the couple ones that were just announced, I think just the other day, was defensive tackle Sam Kamara. We re-signed him, and tight end Blake Whiteheart.
Yes.
And then like you were saying, Trey Avery. I don't know if we talked about Trey.
No, Trey Avery was this week. D'Angelo. So we had Trey Avery, cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
He was first signed to the Browns practice squad in last September. So he spent some time. He played in 10 games and had.
Familiar with the well, it's going to be a somewhat new system, but kind of familiar with the guys and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what we're looking for here. He's going to team up with Denzel Ward, Campbell, and then some of the younger guys too, Dom Jones, Miles Harden.
The two that's go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say, Steve? I'm sorry.
No, the two that have surprised me so far is we still haven't heard, and I don't know if you have, Joel Bitonio.
Yeah, I've not heard anything else about him.
No, I have not either. And it's, I'm starting to think that if he was going to retire or re-sign, I'm kind of thinking something would have came out by now. I'm starting to really wonder if he's going to be playing another year, but elsewhere.
Yeah. If he does, that's fine. I think he kind of deserves to go to a contender and win a couple games.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I realized I forgot to add the photos. There's AJ Epineza. I keep wanting to say empanada. That's more for my love for empanadas.
There was this lady at work that used to bring empanadas in, and you could buy like 3 for $10 or something. They were so good. I'd get a couple every time she would make them.
There's a place over by your old neck of the woods. Like, isn't it off Detroit Avenue, Detroit, and like 65th or something? A place that's, I think it's mostly a carryout. Might be small. I'll find it, but I've heard really, really good things. Authentic Latin food and empanadas, I hear, outstanding over there. I think they got 2 locations, but I'll have to find that.
Yeah, we'll have to do a land segment on that.
Anybody out there that knows? Now I'm hungry. I'm thinking of empanadas. Everybody know a good place to get empanadas? Feel free to comment on the show. Now I want some empanadas.
What else? Oh, you want to move on to the Jarvis Landry news, Steve?
Yeah, that was some interesting comments he had.
Yeah, I've got the video. So Jarvis Landry, he was with Leonard Fournette on a podcast talking about Kevin Stefanski and some of his time here with the Browns. And let me play this, Steve.
Okay. That record, he deserves 2-time coach of the year. Maybe he got it because he was coaching the Cleveland Browns.
His first year he came in.
Yeah.
We made some noise.
Yeah.
Obviously the years before we hadn't had no success at all. So, it was I do think it was fitting and well deserved. I know when I was there for 100% fact, when we were struggling as an offense, I know Kevin Stefanski himself gave up play calling to AVP. The same thing that he's done, that we have guys that have told us that he's done throughout the years of not being able to get it done as a play caller and then putting it off on somebody else. Then the team gets success and then he takes over play calling again. I don't know how much history he's going to have as a head coach. But again, with this record, only thing he really got going for him is those 2-time coach of the year.
Drops back, looking middle, now looking right.
All right.
Wow. Only thing he got going from those two coach of the years, huh?
Well, that honestly, Steve, that's kind of like the dumbest statement ever.
Yeah.
It's like, Steve, the only thing you got going for you is that like you were awesome at something 2 times and got a reward for it. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know
Might
what
be
Jarvis Landry's trying to do.
I don't know, might be some bitterness there. I think we talked about this before privately. I'm still surprised he's out of the league. I think when he's been out now for a few years, and I think he was only 30 when he was out. So I like Jarvis. I mean, I think he helped kind of change the culture a little bit here, different mindset with the players. Yeah, I heard I thought I read somewhere, actually, speaking of both of them, I thought I read somewhere that he wants to try and, try for another team again. And then did you hear about OBJ after that flag football thing with Brady and Logan Paul and all those guys?
Oh, yeah.
OBJ, did you see the video of him making that one-handed catch?
No, I didn't.
He made this back of the corner of the end zone, went up with I think two other defenders in front of him and put his arm up with one hand and, stuck it right there. Upright. It wasn't like the one he made for the Giants where he was falling to the ground, but he just simply jumped straight up. It was a phenomenal catch. Don't get me wrong. So then there was some talk about him. Teams interested. I'm like, are you serious?
Who's that? I don't think anybody's interested in OBJ at this point.
No.
Or Jarvis Landry, to be quite honest. And I like Jarvis Landry too. He did change the culture when he was here.
Yeah.
But Steve, do you honestly think that Kevin Stefanski gave up play calling, like he said?
I mean, he did do it twice when we struggled.
But I think he's saying that it was done at other points.
Right. Yeah. No, that's exactly
when,
how I interpret it. Like, oh, he gave it up and things got better. I don't know about that. I know the one year when he brought in, everybody's clamoring for him to bring somebody in and he let him, Ken Dorsey, play the calls. I thought the offense was terrible. So,
it was.
I mean, just when you think it couldn't get any worse, hold my beer.
Yeah, Ken Dorsey came along.
Yeah, so I mean, were there some issues? Yeah, I wasn't always a fan of his play calling sometimes, but
Steve, we called him Coach Klein from the Waterboy.
That is true.
There were times we didn't know if he knew what he was doing.
It's like that one. I'm gonna fake that we're gonna do a reverse. And we're gonna fake that we're gonna fake. Yeah, some of the times I think that a lot of coaches do this. I think sometimes they try and outsmart themselves, think they're the smartest. Oh, they're expecting us to do that, so we're gonna do this. But yeah, Jarvis and Fournette too, for that matter. He's kind of a bitter guy too. I know I've heard he wants to continue to play, and nobody's been interested in him. He's not. He was old too. Wasn't that old either. He was under 30, I think.
Yeah.
What's it with LSU players? Those two.
Yeah, they're all bitter. They're all bitter because they. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that to me, I don't know why Jarvis Landry said it. I don't know what he's trying to gain by this. Because he's retired, I guess semi-retired now.
Yeah.
I will say though, I think that there is something there with the grades that came out with the last 2 years taken by NFL players about Kevin Stefanski's his grade was pretty low. I think it was like a D both years.
I think he was the lowest, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was very low. So, there might be something there. Maybe not really a player's kind of coach.
Right.
But come on. To blast the guy, say all he has is 2-time coach of the year. Oh shit! Only two of them. Not like, come on, get out of here.
I think the first one was well deserved. You can't argue that first one for what they did. Took the team to the playoff, led the team to the playoffs. The second one, I guess, justified considering where they came from. I thought that year, Houston, D'Amico, the head.
D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah, I thought he deserved it that year.
He did. He had a great year that year.
I mean, Stefanski definitely, for what the team did, he was in it. So yeah. Everybody seems like somebody's always got something to say about the Browns.
I know they do, don't they? Hey, maybe Jarvis Landry could hook on with the Falcons.
Wouldn't that be something? That'd be fun.
We also have coming up, Steve, draft party.
Yeah, we got some notifications being season ticket holders about this. Have you decided, are we going to that yet or to be determined?
I think we need to talk about this. I think it'd be fun, but I don't know if that's like, and Steve, I don't like, I really, they say, so let's get back. They say it's hosted by Canada Dry Ginger Ale and the Cleveland Browns, and they're going to have it at the, Cleveland Public Auditorium. At 6:30 p.m. They said they're going to have 50-50 raffle, live DJs, giveaways, various Browns partners. I think some players are going to be there, maybe some older players. But here's the thing: they said they're gonna have food, but Steve, I don't know. I need a menu. I got to know what they're having because, hey, we can maybe like get wings before and then go or something. But I don't know. Like, is it just going to be concession stand food at the auditorium? Because I've had that before and it's not fantastic.
I think it would go one of two ways. Either it's going to be something like that, or it's going to be something that's outrageously priced. That's, I don't know. I think it would be fun to go. I still wish. Well, and I thought I heard Cleveland's supposed to get a second shot here relatively soon. They had the NFL draft here. Was that 21, right? Post COVID, the year after COVID, which still people were still. It wasn't as big as what it could have been, and still some hesitation and whatnot. I kind of like to attend one of those ones. We had always talked about going to New York, which we never did, and now that it's here or was here, it'd be nice to see if it comes back around. But it'd be kind of fun. I've never done anything. I've always been kind of like, well, we've always gotten together for years with some other friends,
right?
Hosted draft parties, done our own thing, brought our own food, made our own food, and made a night, at least the first night of it ourselves. But now that we're media. I use that term loosely. Maybe we should make our presence felt.
Yes, now that we're media.
I wonder if we could get credentials for that. Hey, at least they're doing stuff. Last year was the Journey concert, which I was on vacation for. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, me and Madeline went to that Journey concert. And that was fucking cool.
I heard a lot of good positive things on that. So but yeah, so I think what they say April 6th, 7th. Did you say that they're supposed to get April 7th?
7th.
No, exclusive April 6th. So we'll get something ahead of time. I'm probably going to get tickets and then I'll see. If I can't make it, I'll give it to family or friends or something. Or who knows? Maybe some lucky listeners could get it if we don't go.
Hey, that's a great idea.
There you go. Draw up some things. So, all right, moving on here. The Browns have been doing, all the teams get to do their 30 visits before the draft. And the Browns have been pretty active as far as so for everything I've seen reported as of Monday. The Browns had hosted or scheduled at least 12 of the permitted 30 visits, pre-draft visits. And it looks like we're going to go over the list here real quick, but of the 12 so far, it's been pretty heavy. 7 of the 12 have been wide receivers. That surprise you at all?
No, that doesn't surprise me. Does it surprise you?
Not really.
Yeah.
And here, no, I don't think they're in any particular order, but here's some of the lists. They've had Jordan Tyson, the receiver from USC. He's a projected top 15 pick. Of course, Ohio State's own Carnell Tate, projected top 10 pick. Ty Simpson, that one, I guess, kind of surprised me slightly, but they're doing whatever. So Ty Simpson, quarterback from Alabama, was here. He's projected first, second, late first, early second. Chris Bell, the wide receiver from Louisville. I have some interest in him. He's an interesting guy. He's projected day 2. And then Denzel Boston. You like Denzel Boston, John?
I do like Denzel Boston.
I love his size. 6'4", what is he? 210 plus. I love the size. Late first, early second. So he could be there. Other guys coming. Omar Cooper Jr., the receiver from Indiana. I like him a lot too. He's intriguing. Late first, possibly early second. Mekhi Lemon, the receiver out of USC. I think he's projected top 15. So all those guys excite me. Markel Bell, I didn't know much about him. He's a tackle from Miami, and they say he's projected as more of a day 3 pick. So
let's take him.
Can't hurt. They also brought in Oklahoma edge Mason Thomas, who's a projected day 2 pick. This one, Toledo safety Emmanuel McNeil Warren. He is projected as a late first.
Yes, he is. I'll tell you what, if he slides into the second, I would love to grab him.
Yeah. The other one that I thought was interesting, I do like him, Oscar Delp, the tight end from Georgia. He's projected more of a day 3 pick, but he's been brought in. And then the only other one that I saw, and this was I think this was the most recent, was Jeremy Bernard. He's a receiver from Alabama. He's more of a day 2 receiver, a little bit smaller, but it could be a guy that could be targeting a little bit later, potentially.
How many wide receivers do you think the Browns will draft?
I could see as many as 2. I think it really depends too. I'm kind of surprised. I really thought maybe they might do a trade for a receiver.
Yeah.
Which we haven't as of yet. Not saying we might not, but definitely I'll be stunned if we don't draft at least one. I'm expecting one, and I wouldn't be surprised if we did two. I don't see anything. What about you after that?
I don't think more than two.
No,
I think
it's awfully hard.
I think we'll take one early and then maybe second, third round.
Yeah.
I think you got to get another one kind of early.
I think so. If we make a trade, so that's what they've been doing so far. I've been pretty active with some stuff. Like I said, 7 of the 12. I did happen to see this. So of the guys in the recent years, and this is the only one I saw, so I didn't do much investigating, but DeJuan Jones was one of those 30 visits, which we ended up drafting him. So I would expect to see possibly, we're not going to see all these guys. Obviously, the top receivers, we're not going to get all of them, but I would expect to see one, maybe 2 of those guys that we just saw on this team.
I would think so. I would hope so.
Well,
what scares me, Steve, over everything here is the whole Ty Simpson thing at quarterback with that 24th pick.
Who is it? Was it Orlovsky? Dan Orlovsky at ESPN supposedly was reporting that he talked to, what was it?
Mike Tenenbaum. Tenenbaum agreed with him, and I guess there were some other GMs and stuff that.
I thought I heard something as many as 13 to 16, somewhere around there. GMs he talked to felt that he was the best quarterback, and only 2 disagreed in this draft above Mendoza.
That scares me.
It scares me too. And he's been pretty open, Ty Simpson, for his love of Todd Monken. So
that's true too.
But here's the thing: if they were to go and shock the world and take Simpson, you have to be out then for 27 for quarterback. There's no way. I know Arizona did it a few years back when they took, what was it, the one quarterback, and then circled back and took Kyler Murray with the first pick. But
I don't see how you could take 4 quarterbacks in 3 years.
No, I mean,
and
I know this is so split. People are so split about Shador. Is he or isn't he? Some people think he is. I'm fine with letting him see what he can do. I'm not expecting a ton this year. I mean, Super Bowl anyway. I'm expecting improvement. So, but I kind of want to see what Shador can do. I mean,
play Shador, see what you got, and then come back in 27. Because if you're no good with Shador, you're going to get a top 5, 7 pick or something.
It should be a win-win, right? If Shador balls out and he is the answer, then it's like, hey, we got ourselves a quarterback. And if he doesn't, and you're like you said, you're no worse than the top 10. And if this quarterback class is as great next year as they're projecting it to be of 5+ guys, you should be able to grab one then. So I'm all for it. So we'll see, but. So much you had given us a little thing. We're trying to work on our timing here, and it was projected that our Browns news should go about 10 minutes. We are about 25 minutes. So
okay, well,
this thing was wrong. Where'd you get this little recommendation list from?
So I fed all the show notes into AI, and it gave me how long we should be spending. We should be done with the AFC North at 12:21, and it is now 12:28, and we're just starting.
Yeah, but you know what? This is a Browns podcast, so I disagree with this. See, AI is not all that great. I disagree.
AI is the way of the future, my friend.
I'm begrudgingly fighting it as much as I can, but
I know.
All right, so let's move on to some AFC North news, or as you like to say, know your enemy segment.
I don't know, Steve. I'm still trying to come up with a name.
I kind of like that one.
Know your enemy, and
we're looking for suggestions. Anybody out there wants to give us a suggestion for it, hit us with one.
Good things going on in the division, Steve. Everybody's falling apart.
Music to my ears.
Exactly. So I got to lead off here with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They still don't know if Aaron Rodgers is coming back, Steve.
That's ridiculous.
NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, the team has no real answer on whether Aaron Rodgers is even going to play football next season, let alone play for Pittsburgh. And then he put it bluntly, nobody knows. Not the Steelers, not their coaching staff. Steve, what's going on?
I don't know.
Hey, maybe they'll have to take Ty Simpson at 21.
Wouldn't that be something? Well, that wouldn't shock me, actually.
or maybe bring a Kirk Cousins in. I think Pittsburgh. I don't think Pittsburgh fans want that. I think they
No.
would much rather see
Rodgers,
from Ohio State.
Howard,
Yes,
Will Howard.
Will Howard.
like-
I think
I'd like to see it. You know, a lot of people wanted the Browns to take Howard here last, the other past draft, and at some point. So we'll see. I actually think, my personal opinion, I think Rodgers coming back for another year.
do you?
I mean, they had some success in the playoffs. They won the one game, and look at the weapons Rodgers has to work with. They traded and got Pittman. They have DK Metcalf. I'm sure they're going to add another piece here or there. I like their run game. And Freiermuth and the big, was it Washington, the big tight end from Georgia. We'll see how the line is. McCarthy's back, somebody he's familiar with. So I'll actually be stunned if he's not. I think he was looking to come back one more time, one more shot, but we'll see.
Well, I hope he does, because I don't think he's the quarterback he was.
I want him to come back just for the simple fact that the first game we play him, which hopefully will be early in the year, Myles Garrett lays his ass out for him purposely just trying to get rid of the ball as quickly as possible when we played them, just so he wouldn't do the record. So that's my hope.
Exactly. Speaking of quarterbacks coming back,
Big news.
Joe Flacco coming back to Cincinnati.
That didn't surprise me that much, surprisingly. Did it you?
No, actually it didn't. Well, kind of weird, because it really wasn't on my radar. And then when I saw it, I'm like, that's not shocking.
It kind of made sense, I guess. I wasn't thinking about it at all either. And then when I saw it announced yesterday, was it yesterday?
It was yesterday, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, hell, I would come back too if I was him. If I had T. Higgins and Jamar Chase to throw to with Brown in the backfield, well, the line scares the hell out of me, but the weapons to throw to, I would
And Joe Burrow probably won't last every single game, because he never seems to play 17 games.
Nah, has he done it once maybe? I don't even know.
I don't know. I'd have to look, but I love Joe Burrow too. And it's just,
I really do too.
It's a shame he can't stay healthy, because I really like Joe Burrow.
I agree. I hate to say, I mean, it's a Bengal player, and of course, but I do root for him.
So
He's not against us.
Me, right?
Looking up, 21 and 22, he did 16 games.
Okay.
And then 23 only had 10. 24, he did 17. So,
okay.
So, of the 6 seasons, half of them he's played under 10 or less.
Okay. So
twice 10 and 1/8. So not terrible, but
that's
still
not terrible. No, that's really not.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I got, Steve, it was a whole thing with I guess a story came out with Max Crosby, and there's a lot to it. We can kind of skim the whole Max Crosby situation with the Baltimore Ravens, because Ravens had the trade was done.
Yeah.
And then Crosby even said that he fully doesn't buy that. No one will ever admit what the truth really is, and that's coming from Max Crosby's own podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So Crosby basically just wanted out. He had gone through 4 coaches, 4 general managers, 9 starting quarterbacks, kind of like what's going on in Cleveland. I could understand his being disgruntled.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Ravens, they needed that pass rusher. And Crosby, of course, wanted to be part of the Ravens defense and possible Super Bowl. And then Crosby said he didn't even meet with the GM for hours. And
right. It was like at the very end or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. And at the very end.
The coach before, and even that took a long time. Like the vibe was good when he got there, but then
it just
I remember hearing him say, usually you meet them right away. He's like, I didn't see them at all. And like crazy. Yeah. And then did he say something about when he did meet the GM? Nothing was said right away about it or something? Or
he said he didn't even meet the GM, and when he finally did, he said the energy felt off.
Yeah,
and then comes the news, concerns about his knee, more opinions needed. Mm-hmm. And all the while the Ravens had the reports from his injury.
Yeah, there was.
So and then 5 minutes after being told things were fine, his agent calls and said the trade was dead.
Well, didn't they say that same day while he was there, didn't they have Hendrickson there for a visit?
Was it the same? I'm not sure if it was the same day. You might be correct.
Or that I heard something about the same day or something, which is crazy.
Because after 13 hours, then they signed Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
So it was quick.
Yeah, it was.
So
Rob said, well said, John. Raiders, just like the Browns, maybe the Ravens were trying to keep Crosby from another team. We'll probably never know. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. That's gonna be one of those NFL mystery stories that I'm chalking up to the Ravens were just being shady.
So Crosby had to have been excited. You go to a place like Baltimore, who has had success. Now they're going through a big change themselves with new coach and all that. But, overall, they've had good success, playoffs for many years. Always wanted a, Super Bowl contenders, got a legit quarterback with Jackson. And then you're like, oh, I'm not staying here. I go back. Now, Oakland's been somewhat active.
Las Vegas.
Oakland, there'll always be Oakland in my heart.
Los Angeles,
Oakland, Las Vegas, the Raiders. I think they got the first pick, which I think get a foregone conclusion it's going to be Mendoza. Is he a little bit like, all right, it's not as bleak as it was, or you still, if you're Crosby, you're like, oh, this sucks?
I'm probably not happy. Still.
Yeah.
Because I wanted out in the first place. And now it just made it even more awkward. They got to go back in to the building and you thought you were traded. And just
Browns never got that far with Myles Garrett. Just saying.
Great point, Steve. I will always say, as much as things that Andrew Berry does piss me off, he knows how to keep players in the building and not let them leave before they sign that contract or extension.
There is some truth to that. I will say that. You are absolutely right. So, all right. Well, that does it for some AFC North news. I think we do have a little bit of NFL news here to talk about. Just a little bit.
So Logan Wilson, linebacker, who actually played for the Bengals.
Yes, sir.
He is 20? Where did I see? He's 29 years old, and he retired from football.
It seems like more and more guys are retiring at a younger age.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. I think if you get that, you get your first contract, you play a couple years, you get that second one, then you're probably like, man, this is like just breaking down my body.
I don't know. I think I just contradicted myself as I said that about more and more players. Seems like they're retiring early. We talked about Aaron Rodgers coming back, who's 40-something years old, and Joe Flacco signing, who's 40. So you know what? Maybe they're not. Maybe it's just a select few.
Well, yeah, I think it's the guys that get cracked in the head all the time, like a linebacker's like, dude, I've had enough of this.
I was going to say, it has become more friendlier towards the quarterbacks that they're making these guys maybe last longer compared to the quote unquote good old days. So, there's.
But hey, did you hear about Cam Scatteraboo?
I did not.
He was talking about how asthma isn't real and neither is CTE.
Oh, I did hear something about that.
And coming from a guy that uses his head as a battering ram, I don't know if I would take that advice.
Right. Well, would he lose his mind? I think I saw something just recently. I think it was a mock draft. Somebody talking about the Giants going with Jeremiah Love with their first pick. I don't see that at all, but would that be something?
Well, yeah, it would be actually. I think that wouldn't be a bad move at all.
No. No. And I think there are some rule changes or proposals.
Steve,
the Browns had one.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's all you, my friend.
Okay. So there were a couple. There was the NFL Competition Committee had 5 rule changes. Most of them, Steve, are associated with the kicking game. Mm-hmm. So not really going to go over too many of those. Pretty minor rule changes. But for 1 year only, that they would like the NFL officiating department to correct clear and obvious misses made by on-field officials that impact the game in the event that there is a work stoppage involving the game officials represented by the NFL Referees Association. So they're saying if the refs I guess is there a looming referee strike?
I knew there was a baseball one looming coming up, what, next year or something. I didn't know about the NFL one.
Yeah, there's I guess officials. So I guess if there's an official strike there, they want to have a backup in place for video review. So I did not know that there was a possible referee work stoppage.
Interesting. Rob said Ravens GM Eric DeCosta is on record saying they intended to pair both pass rushers, and he calls BS. Yeah, I did. You're right, Rob. I do remember hearing that. He said
I
he
agree
read
with
that
Rob.
too.
BS.
And he said same thing. He saw something with Scadaboo and Jeremiah Love about the Giants drafting a running back that early. They've always liked having 2 or 3 running backs that play regularly. If I'm not mistaken, isn't Jacobs? It's not Jake. I think it's his wife. Is a Giants fan.
Awesome. Yeah, she's a Giants.
Did he always get a tokens Giants player? Was Barkley before, or some Giants players for his wife for fantasy?
Yeah, so he's kind of invested in what the Giants do a little bit.
Our daughter-in-law is a Giants fan. I think her grandfather, who passed away, was a big Giants fan, so she's kind of gravitated to them as well as the Browns.
Yeah.
And Rob also commented, current NFL referee contract expires May 2026.
Oh, so it is coming up. So there could be Steve, let's get jobs as referees.
Right? Hearing the money that those guys make, they actually make good money. I say we bring Rob as a correspondent for There's a Gleam for coming up with their knowledge. And I used to be that guy for other podcasts where they're doing, I'm like, oh, I chime in and say something. I am no longer that guy. And Rob is that man who has the information. If they're good, my wife likes to watch football, so I prefer them to be good. That is true.
Exactly. Happy wife, happy life.
Yes, sir. That's it with the did you talk about the Browns rule change? They're still talking about that.
I did look up referees make between $205,000 and $250,000 a year.
Yeah.
I want that job. Browns did submit a rule change to have teams be able to trade draft picks 5 years into the future.
Yeah, they brought that up before. How ironic and crazy is it that it's the Browns bringing that up? I find that kind of funny. Also, I kind of thought, first thing I thought is, damn, Haslam wants to get this through so that next year, if Arch Manning comes out, he's like, I'm giving up 5 first rounds. Just I'll do it. Right.
I hope we use this, I guess, as a tool to improve. If it goes through, we use it as a tool not to improve our roster and not to just like trade everything away and be left with nothing.
Right.
Because if I was an owner of an NFL team, I would tell my general manager, you're not trading 5 years down the line. No way.
Yeah. Yeah. Rob even said he heard it too. They're calling this the Archie Manning rule.
Oh, gosh.
I think so.
Hey, I saw the other Manning. He's 14 years old. I can't remember.
Yeah, the high school.
Yeah,
I saw. Is he high school?
Yeah, he's getting. Yeah. Well, he's not going. He's not in high school yet, but he's already. They're talking about Virginia Tech because his mom. That's Peyton Manning's kid, I believe.
I think so. Yeah, I did see that too. I saw the video where he's throwing. He threw like a deep ball to the right side of the end zone, down the right side or something. I saw a video of him.
He's got an arm.
Yeah, he does.
I'd rather take him than
Arch.
Yeah.
We'll see. He got better. I mean, it was a rough start, but I'm curious to see what he does next year.
I agree.
I'm not huge on Julian Sayin, just for the record. I don't know. He's
what are you
kind
saying?
of small to me for some reason, but we'll see. I mean, he played good.
Yeah. Well, I'm big on the Norris Sellers, so that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. We got we're going to move on here. We're not doing too bad time-wise. You have a 2-minute drill this week.
I do have a 2-minute drill. What is my 2-minute drill? Oh, yes, Steve. Oh, my 2-minute drill is great. So I found this. So we know that opening day is tomorrow for the Guardians.
Yes. Where is it? LA or Seattle? I forget.
It's in Seattle. Tomorrow night at 10:10, the Guardians play.
Shout out to Kevin Engelbart, our buddy who's in Seattle.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to the game.
From Cleveland, but is still follows and likes the Cleveland teams. Hope he's representing and wearing some Guardians gear for this week, this series.
Kevin wearing Guardians gear?
Yeah.
I doubt that's going to happen.
No, but he probably still has some Indians gear. I don't think
He might.
we should. Well, with his Super Bowl
Yeah,
victory,
he's already got a Super Bowl in Seattle. So you know what? He can just sit there and be quiet for a little bit.
yes,
I wish I had a Super Bowl.
right.
So this is most strikeouts on opening day.
Okay.
13 strikeouts in a game. Lon Warnecke for the Chicago Cubs, 1934. Bob Gibson for the St. Louis Cardinals in 1967. Dave McNally for the Baltimore Orioles in 1970. J.R. Richard with the Astros in 1980, and then Mackenzie Gore with the Padres in 2024. And then we go to 14 strikeouts in an opening day game. Don Drysdale, 1963.
Oof.
Andy Johnson for the Diamondbacks did it 2 times in 2001 and 2005. And then Shane Bieber, Steve, 2020.
Yeah.
And he had 14 strikeouts and 6 scoreless versus Kansas City that year. The same year that Bieber, that was in 2020 for Bieber. He had the pitching triple crown for pitching with 2 wins, 1.63 ERA, and 122 strikeouts.
Good old Shane Bieber. I think he's still with Toronto. No, didn't he resign and stayed with them? If I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure. I've not been keeping up on.
I wish he would have stayed healthy. It's a shame he had the arm issues twice. I mean, I remember when he came back the last time. Well, prior to the last time, he looked good. The opening day start, he looked great. And then he started that second game and he went out, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, Shane Bieber's hurt and he's going to be out. I'm like, what? When did that happen?
Yeah, Bieber, I'll tell you, the Indians have had, Guardians/Indians have had great pitching over the last 20 years.
And Bieber is still with the Blue Jays. Where's Roger when you need him? Roger's the baseball guru.
I don't know.
But I think I saw somewhere here there's some concerns with him coming out of spring training with injury. So unfortunately, I think he's still, he's sidelined for the opening chunk of the season. He's a forearm injury.
Okay.
Jeez, poor guy can't stay healthy.
The all-time leader, 15 strikeouts in opening day, Camilo Pascual, Washington Senators, 1960. 15 strikeouts.
Pascual, of course.
Of course. How did I not know that?
Never heard of him in my life.
I haven't either, but that was 1960, Steve. So that's probably a little before our time.
Hey, there you
go.
I
have one last little tidbit, Steve.
Okay.
Since, we're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city, Alice Cooper has been married for 50 years. They renewed their vows on March 21st in Phoenix. And you know what the coolest thing about this is, Steve?
What's that?
His wife, Cheryl, her 92-year-old father officiated the ceremony. And he was the same officiate. What do you call it? Aficionado?
Right.
In 1976, that did their ceremony when they first got married.
That's impressive. But how old is Alice Cooper?
He's got to be like 78 or something, probably.
Actually, I just look. You're right. You're dead on. 78 years old. Holy cow.
Yeah, he's about the same age as Sammy Hagar. Isn't that crazy, though? 50 years. I had no idea.
Wow. I didn't either. And how old's his wife? She's 69, does it say here?
Oh,
somewhere around there, give or take.
Younger, 10.
That's not terrible. Good for her. The old man's still alive at 92. God bless, man. I hope I could live that long.
He plays a lot of golf too, I guess, out in Phoenix.
Oh, there we go.
So that's my 2-minute drill.
Good 2 minutes. Thanks for picking up the slack there for me.
I'm not a slacker.
What's that?
I'm not a slacker. I'm doing the work.
Yeah, that's what happens when you run a multi-$1,000 company. You don't always have time to do this. Until we start making the big bucks from this show, I've forced to work as well, like most people. But
I know.
No, John has his first. I'm glad you did it because I wanted to start getting to it this month, and I think we'll talk more. But I think moving forward for the next month, it's going to be very draft heavy with our shows, I think, and stuff. So, but without further ado, we have for draft talk. John has his. Now, I got to ask you, I forgot, you're calling it the mockery draft. So are you making fun of yourself?
Yeah, of course I am, Steve. I can't take this shit seriously. Nobody knows what's going on with these mock drafts. It's just a goof, man. It's fun, but I like doing it.
I do. When we had Lot Zoo and stuff, when we did our, there is video still out there, I think, on YouTube of us. We had the studio looking behind us like we're ESPN, and I was dressed up in a tie and I was supposed to be our Mel Kiper. I was proud of that one. I think I was pretty accurate on a lot of those picks. I either had the right team and player or the right position going to the team with trades and whatnot. But anyway, without further ado, let's do John's 2026 NFL Mockery Draft 1.0. All
right. So we've got, well, Steve, do you want me to just do the top 6 picks that I have, and then we can go down
build up to it. Start with 1 and build up to 6. Let's see what we got.
Okay. Ding, 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 ding. Is that this noise they make? The pick is in.
Pretty close. Yeah, that's pretty close.
Las Vegas Raiders with the first pick select Fernando Mendoza, quarterback out of Indiana.
Okay.
I think we're all pretty in step with that one. I think that's going to happen. Number 2, New York Jets, Arvell Reese, linebacker out of Ohio State. At number 3, the Arizona Cardinals, David Bailey, defensive end out of Texas Tech. I really like David Bailey a lot.
Yeah.
I would actually, Steve, if he slides to number 6, I think the Browns should take him.
I just saw a mock draft last night where that scenario happened according to them, and the Browns took him at 6. Which
if you team David Bailey with Myles Garrett and Mason, oh my goodness, Aaron Rodgers might retire.
Nope.
Nope, you can't. You're not allowed to retire. You got to play the Browns.
Nope.
Tennessee Titans, Jeremiah Love, running back out of Notre Dame.
There it is.
Pretty solid.
That's really skyrocketed. That seems to be pretty common now. I mean, at first I wasn't seeing so much that, and now all of a sudden everybody's mocking the Titans going Jeremiah Love, which, I mean, I guess makes sense. It's a huge weapon. Pollard was okay for him. So, yeah, I could see that.
It gives Cam Ward a weapon in the backfield that he can use and help him out.
Yep.
Then we have Sonny Styles going to the Giants, linebacker out of Ohio State. And then at number 6, ding, 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 ding. The pick is in. Cleveland Browns select Carnell Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio State. How do you feel about that, Steve?
I was a little late on that, but
that's okay. We'll get it down.
I wouldn't be opposed. Although I hate to say it.
You're gonna say it, aren't you?
I think this is a good wide receiver class. I don't know if it's an outstanding, like Hall of Fame. Look at,
right.
But I wouldn't be. I mean, is Tate? Will he be a true number 1? The big knock is everybody saying he had Jeremiah Smith with him. I'm not going to hate it though by any means. If we take him, I want a receiver. So Carnell Tate.
All right. Question then.
Yeah.
If you were in this draft right now and you're the Browns sitting at 6, and you've seen those last 5 players that I mentioned in my mockery draft, who would you take if you're the Cleveland Browns at 6?
Oh God.
Ding, ding, ding.
I don't know. I will admit I am. More and more people feel that the best player in this draft, and I'm big on taking best available. I think if you ask a lot of people, they say Caleb Downs is the best player. I am warming up to that idea of possibly Downs. I'm pretty convinced I don't want a lineman at 6.
Okay.
I don't think Freeling's worth it. There's some issues with him I'm still a little hesitant on. Yeah. The kid from Miami and Fano, they're good, but they're right tackle. I don't know if they're how they do it. I'm not big on moving a guy from right to left tackle.
Me neither. I hate that.
Tyson, he's just too injury prone. At 6, he may be the best receiver. Mekhi Lemon, I like, but at his size at 6 is not very common.
I think he's a number 2.
I would not be opposed. If Arvell Reese or Bailey were to slide, I would probably tend to jump towards those guys.
I agree with you 100%. If they
Miles is interesting too. I like his size and speed. Although we just took a line. Well, JOK is probably, I wouldn't be if it's Tate or Downs. I'm not this.
You're on the clock. You're on the clock. Number 6 pick. You know who's already been selected. Who you taking?
Well,
Turn
as
the
they said in
card.
the movie Backdraft, you go, we go. I'm going with Carnell Tate.
Okay. Very good.
And it's 12:55 for the record, so we are nowhere going to hit our thing, but that's okay. So
It's okay.
if you want to skim through these quickly, some of the other
Well,
picks.
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with AFC North.
Okay.
So
Cincy.
at number 10, Cincinnati Bengals, Caleb Downs. Safety.
Son of a that would suck.
And then number 14, Baltimore Ravens, Spencer Fano, offensive tackle, Utah.
Yeah, he'll probably be fantastic.
He'll probably be a Hall of Famer.
Right?
And then
20
at number 21, Pittsburgh Steelers, Vega Ione, guard out of Penn State.
Yeah, some people feel he's the best lineman in this draft.
Yeah. I think Pittsburgh needs the help on the offensive line too. So I think that'd be a good pick. And then Steve, pick number 24. Bing, bada, ding, ding, ding. The pick is in. Cleveland Browns select Monroe Freeling, offensive tackle out of Georgia. Now I know you probably don't like that pick.
No, that was my dream draft just before the combine, or right about then. I was like, ooh, to get Carnell Tate, who I think's no worse than the third best receiver, but I think he might be the overall best receiver. And Freeling, I feel is a true left tackle. I know he doesn't have the experience, but like you were saying, if he came out unexpectedly, if he comes out next year, most people said he could be a potential top 5. The guy's massive. I mean, just look at that picture. That's a defensive end he's going against. And he looks like a midget. What is he, like 6'7", 6'8"?
Yeah, he's a big guy.
At 24, I'm a lot more happy. At 6, I need a blue chip for sure. Guy. But 24, I'm feeling good about that pick. I actually like that one.
Would you like the first round then? Carnell Tate and Monroe Freeling?
I think so. I think that's probably right now my dream best case scenario for the Browns.
Yeah, I like that too. And I'll round it out, Steve, with the last pick in the first round, Seattle Seahawks, with cornerback Brandon Cisse out of South Carolina.
Brownie's favorite.
Oh, let's go Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, number 15, Zion Young, defensive end out of Missouri.
Yeah. I've been seeing him. I could see that.
So that's my
Denzel Boston going to the Bills. I could see that fit. Big, tall receiver, especially they got rid of Riggs. I could see that going there. That would be a good one. Not bad. I like it. I think it's solid.
I just need to I need to download that little ding, 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 ding. Pick is
right. That's a good call. Yes, sir. All right. Well, let's move on to the next segment here. This is our segment affectionately known as The Land, where we kind of go out, showcase Cleveland local establishments, whether it's food or you've done a variety. Mike Evans. I think Rob's referring to Boston, maybe a comparison to Mike Evans.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
So I've never heard of Craggy's Bogland Pub.
Yeah, so I've been there a couple of. So my buddy Chris, shout out to Chris Fisk, my brother from another mother. People are now saying we're twins, which I don't know if that's good for him or not. But this has been his go-to hangout. Craggy Boglands. It is in Willoughby, Ohio, east side over by me. Specifically, it's at 4857 Robin Hood Drive. It's kind of in a weird spot. It's right off Euclid Avenue by Lowe's. There's a plaza to the left of it with like a Mr. Hero. I think there's an aquarium place. I think there's some other little thing and maybe a mattress. It's almost like a little shopping center, but it's got a bar. And it's just your good old fashioned, small, dark place with some character.
I love those kinds of places.
Right. We popped in there for St. Patty's Day. We met up with some friends at Panini's earlier, and then we decided to hit that place. And there's a picture of the inside. I don't know how
you ain't lying when you said it was dark.
Oh, it's dark and it's small. I mean, they got a bar that's probably got 15 and then a handful of tables going down the left side. But And overall, though, it's just an old school vibe. Some TVs and the prices. You can't beat the prices. We went
Wait,
there.
Is that
So-
on St. Pat? Was that picture taken on St. Patrick's Day? Or at a different
No.
time? Oh, okay.
That was the day. Actually, that's Chris. You can't see it because it's so small, but Chris is already sitting at the bar. He got there before me.
Okay.
So he told me about it. He's, we're, me and you, we're big wing guys. And he's like,
hell yeah.
in his opinion, Craggy's has some of the best wings. So this is different. Wing night for us back in the day was Pacers 10-cent wing night and Aardvark's out in North Royalton and a handful of other places. I'm used to 10-cent wing night. So when they say wing night, I'm like, cool. And then they say 75 cents. I'm like, oh. But in today's world, that's pretty good.
75-cent wing night today is great. If you could find 75-cent wings, that's great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Chris had raved about them and said they're really good. And it was their wing day. So I'm like, let's go. So we met up and I did two. I wanted to go something different that I don't always get. And I also conscious effort that I wanted to do a wet and a rub. So for me, I did what they call a bunky Q, which is kind of like it's barbecue, but it's got a little bit of a heat to it.
Okay.
And I didn't realize you could do 6 wing increments. I did 10. And I'll be honest, I can't eat like I used to. 20 wings back in the day was nothing. I did 20 wings. I struggled to get through these 20 wings.
I can't do more than like 10.
Oh, wow. I'm a little bit.
Eat wings like I used, but I'll eat 10 and then like a couple hours later, I'll eat the leftover 10 later.
Yeah, I did. So I did 10 of each. I wanted to give them fair shots. I felt that was a good number. For some reason, I was hooked on it had to be 10. But no, I did 10 of those. And then I went with do you do dry rubs, John?
No, I'm not a big fan.
No, I actually,
I'll do them, but I'd rather have sauce all over, like on my face and on my fingers.
well, it actually kind of depends, but I do occasionally like me a good dry rub. I got a Cajun rub. I've kind of gravitated to a little bit more of the spicy. I think that's partly because of you. I've always done like buffalo wings, but my favorite sauce is still the sriracha with honey combo. Yeah. But this was plus I like the dip. Now they do the other thing I liked about this place, and again, I thought it was well sauced wings. I thought the rub was a good amount of the rub. They make a homemade roast jalapeno ranch as one of the dipping sauce. And of course they have blue cheese. I did not do the roast jalapeno ranch, and now I'm wondering. Well, what's that? You do? I did blue cheese. Another reason I didn't do with the jalapeno ranch one is both of the wings I got were already spicy. First time there, I didn't know what the spice level is going to be, so I didn't want to get
I think that's a good call. I would have done the same thing too with the bunky Qs and the Cajun. I'm not going a jalapeno ranch.
If it would have been anything else, so next time gives me a reason to go back. But like I said, I thought the wings were really good flavor, just the right amount of sauce and dry rub. But more importantly, and we both agree with this, the perfect size. They were good size. They weren't too big and they weren't tiny little wings.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, that's a big pet peeve.
That's just about everything when it comes to a wing.
And most people sit there and say they're like, we love a good jumbo wing. I don't, especially the drum ones. Sometimes I'll bite into them. They're tough as hell. Other times I'll bite in and I'll see a little too much red in there and freaks me out. So I'm not a big, when they're big, just remember this, bigger isn't always better.
That's right. That especially when it's wings.
Right.
I do want to make, I'm not trying to steal your thunder, Steve, but you just made me think of something I thought of when I went to get wings at BW3 for the NCAA basketball tournament last Thursday.
Yeah.
I've made a big decision in my life.
Uh-oh.
I will only eat flats.
Really? Now, can you eat a flat? You see the people that take it and with one bite, they put it in their mouth.
Yeah, I pull the bones out and do it different. But
I can't do that, but okay.
It's officially, because for years I've been back and forth, flat, drum it, flat, drum it. When I went to B-Dubs, I got all flats and I loved it. So now
we need to go to get wings together because I actually prefer the drumsticks.
Oh, we should go and then we could trade.
I do. I love me a good drumstick for some reason.
Okay.
I think it's just easier for me to eat. But I
They
see
are
those
easy.
guys that I know there's a technique, pull this, twist this, and then stick that flat in, you pull it right out, bare as a bone. I have not been able to do that yet. But anyway,
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to get
and
sidetracked.
no, it's good. It's good to know now. If I get you something, that I know now to get you flats. But and the other thing that I really liked about them, because I forgot to say something to them when I ordered, I didn't have to ask them to make it crispy or extra crispy. They came out crispy, and that's the other pet peeve of mine. I like a good
Big
crispy
point.
wing, a good size, not too big, not too small. And this had, like I said, just the right amount of sauce, and rub on there. So
I will do that, Steve. When I go to a new wing, if I get wings somewhere new, I don't tell them extra crispy. I want to see what they're doing right up front with a regular order first.
oh, that's a good call. I'm so trained now to always request it because there's nothing worse for me if I get a wing and that skin's
Soggy.
yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of grosses me out. I think it's a textural thing, but anyway, so that was the place. Great, like I said, great little local bar. We went in the afternoon. It wasn't that busy. St. Patty's Day was a madhouse, but they do daily specials there. Monday's their burger day, and Chris raved about their burger, so we're gonna make it a point to go there for a burger one of these Mondays. Tuesdays tacos all day. Wednesdays their wing night, 75-cent wing night, and then Thursday they do a mac and cheese night right now. But
So-
what's
So
that?
do you guys go to this place before or after the gym?
This one was after Chris. So Chris used to go there all the time back in the day. That was his go-to hangout. You know, he's a retired, had a business and retired. So he's got more free time, and he would go up there pretty often. But yeah, it's usually afternoon is the
Okay.
earliest I could go. But they, like I said, good local place. I was surprised at the menu they had. It's like a 2-page menu for a little. I mean, you saw the picture thing like that. They got a pretty good variety, apps, some salad, pasta, corned beef sandwiches. They do sandwich wraps and burgers. Monday through Friday open 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. and Saturday and Sunday it's noon to 2. Kitchen's open 11:30 to 10. Thursday and Fridays they're 11:30 to 11, and Saturday and Sunday they're 12 to 10. So if you're on the east side there, you're looking for wings, I highly recommend Wing Day on Wednesday, 75-cent wings. I don't think you'll be disappointed. They had about 12 different sauces too, I think.
That's good. That's good amount.
Yeah, everything you could think of, the buffalo, barbecue, garlic, parm. I'm missing a couple rubs. So, but no, good place. So that was my land segment for this month.
Nice.
You
Sounds
have
good.
you have there's a Gleam. for
There's
this
a
week.
Steve. Well, tomorrow, like we talked a little bit earlier, opening night baseball tomorrow night against the Seattle Mariners. The Guardians will be opening up the 2026 season with Tanner Bybee on the hill. So that's there's a Gleam for this week.
Okay. I saw they announced it the other day. DeLautner's on the roster. Could he possibly be the best I think he's still technically a rookie. I know he played last year, but could he be the best prospect since maybe Manny? Well, Jose was in our system, no? Or no?
Jose
Ramirez.
Yes. Yeah, wasn't he? Yeah. I'm pretty sure. So he came up to the Indians.
I think so.
And then Manny Ramirez, same thing. Came up, Tommy.
Well, I was thinking since Ramirez, but yeah, no. I think he's been with us his whole time, I thought. Yeah. Because I remember that's right. He started out in Lake County, right by me. So he's been with us. So is he the best prospect since Jose Ramirez?
Well, people are saying that.
I think he could be.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it would. We need that.
So I'm excited because Steve, actually tomorrow, I work night, so I'll be able to watch this game tomorrow night.
Oh, that's right. Games 10 o'clock, 10:30 they start out there. So do you stay up that late?
Yeah, I get home at 10:45. I'll stay for an hour or so.
Okay. I'm excited. I mean, hey, they're coming off that historic year last year where what were they? 15 and a half games back at, after the All-Star break and came back and won the division. So
fun. Such a fun season.
And it really, some of the guys didn't perform how they did the year before. So my Manzardo, I think he looks actually like he got maybe a little bigger, like muscular wise. So I'm gonna see. And DeLautner for me, I want to see if he can stay healthy. I don't know if we'll see Bazana
No,
Roger, our buddy over at Dog Chug, he's a big baseball guy, and the impending MLB
strike.
probably be strike. They don't see him. He doesn't see them bringing him, wasting any time because the strike could drag on. So to lose any of that time, so we'll see. But
That's a great point. Great point.
Opener is what next week, the 3rd. The following week, April 3rd, is the home opener.
Yeah, the following Friday.
Yeah, so there you go. So not too bad. We are 10 minutes.
Well,
We love giving people the bonus time. No,
it's free bonus time for everybody.
free bonus. Good for you, good for me, good for everybody, as you would say.
Right?
Good for you. Good for you, good for me, good for everybody.
I can't believe you found that. That is so awesome, though, that you did. But anyway, we want to thank you for joining us today on this show next week. And like I said, for the month of April, I think we're really going to start focusing mostly on the draft prospects. Mock drafts will be coming out weekly with us and more. Land, see where we'll be checking out next week. I think, John, you'll be doing that one, no?
Yep.
So check that out. And again, if you don't already, you can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, both at There's a Gleam Podcast. I'm on X at Hemi44. John's at Get the Gleam. TikTok, you can find John. You changed it, didn't you?
No.
What was the one you changed? Oh, no, you changed your X.
X.
What is it now?
I don't know. I'll have to look it up, Steve. I'm not sure.
I forgot you just told me the other day. TikTok, you're John There's a Gleam, and I am at There's a Gleam Podcast, slowly but surely getting on there more and more. And like I said before, you can follow and subscribe on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify, and listen to us if you don't want to see us. Yes, sir.
It's John There's a Gleam at John in the Land.
What the hell is that?
I don't know, dude. I was just doing whatever.
That's your X?
Yeah. I can
Oh my
change it like
God.
every 7 days.
I'm never going to remember that.
I didn't remember it.
Anyway, appreciate you watching. Appreciate the comments. Rob, thank you. Thank you for your service. Please remember to follow, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And again, help us spread the word. Friends, tell your friends, tell their friends of their friends and strangers. Get it out there for us. And we'd like to grow our little podcast community here. John, anything else you want to chime in with?
No, just hey, thanks everybody for listening to the show. It was once again, Steve, fun doing this show with you, and keep looking out for number 1 without stepping in number 2.
Was that Rodney?
That was
Rodney Dangerfield?
Wasn't it Steve Martin in that movie where he was a
I've heard it a few times. That's one of my favorites, but we're mixing up a little bit again with our always changing our format a little bit. So keeping you on your toes. But again, thank you for joining us. Go Browns. And remember what Coach Marty would say.
There's a gleam, man. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam. All right, let's go.
That gives me chills.
I love that. All right, everybody. Hope you have a great week, and we will see you next week.